Hi all. Today we are going to talk about another method of assigning a worksheet to students in remote learning. And this time we're going to talk about how you can assign a PDF document and then allow students to open it up as a Google Doc and complete it with your instructions. So Google Docs has a nice feature in that you can open a PDF, which usually PDFs are pretty static and there's not much you can do with them, but you can open it in Google Docs and it will kind of convert the writing from a PDF into Google Docs, so it's in a usable format. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I will share my screen with you and we'll work through that. So if I have a worksheet that I found on the internet, two things: I can either print it off or have a print of it and scan it in on the copier and email it to myself. Or if it's on Teacher Pay Teacher or something like that, I can just download it and I'll have it as a PDF. So in this instance, I have found a couple documents and scanned them in from the copier. Here they are from the copier in an email message. And when I hover over it, you can see I've got two options. I can download it or I can save it automatically to Drive. And our end goal here is to get it into Drive. So we're just going to click on the little Drive icon and we can then organize it a little bit. The key to a lot of remote learning is going to be organization. So if you can kind of make some folders for your different classes and put them in there so that documents aren't just floating around outside of folders in your Drive, that will be helpful to you. It also helps so that, you know, if you need it in future years, you've already got these resources built and ready to go. So I've got that document and I want to just go ahead and find my Tech Tips for Teachers folders, and I will move it into there right away. Okay, so that's the first step done. We've got it into Google Drive. So now I am going to go to my Google Drive and I'm going to find the folder that I put it in. And for me, it is helpful to rename it right away so that I know what it is. So I have scanned it in and it's come up just as 0307. I'm going to right click. And of course, we can rename that whatever we want, okay? Okay, so I have done that actually with two different documents. One of them is this adjective workshop, and another is I Have a Dream, I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King, because I want to show you a couple different ways this could be handy. We mentioned some of those in the email. Some ideas are maybe once the students have it in Google Docs, they could highlight parts of speech in a certain color. And that is actually what we're going to do with this adjective worksheet. So once you have it into your Google Drive, you can right click on it and you have an option to open with, and we're going to choose Google Docs. And so it will go through and scan it, scan the PDF and convert it to a Google Doc so that you can type it. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of formatting to fix it, but it's pretty minor in comparison. So this one already had a name and a date, a place that they could type those in, which is great. However, just like with any assignments, when we're going from paper copy to remote, there might be some adjustments to make. So this one says underline the adjectives, box in the nouns. And obviously that's a little tough to box in the nouns. So I want to change this assignment so that they are just going to highlight the adjectives in yellow and highlight the nouns in red. So under the directions, I am going to say, highlight adjectives in yellow, highlight nouns in red. So I've changed my instructions, and as you can see, it's got some examples for them. You know, like I said, there's maybe a few formatting things, but not much. So once the students get this, they can just use their basic tools to go through and do the things that I asked them to do in the directions. Okay, so most of them are already going to know how to use a highlighter. If not, you can go through and show them how to do that, and they will just do the things that I asked them to do. Okay, so once that we have it all ready and set up for them, from there, it's a simple process that we've been working through of sharing the link. So I've got my worksheet already. I'm just going to go up here to share. I am going to make sure that it says anyone with the link can open it. And then I'm going to copy the link. Then it is the simple of matter of going into my Google Classroom. And assigning that as an assignment. Again, we're going to always, if we go here to link, we're going to always make sure that we select make a copy for each student. I can give it instructions and say follow the instructions on the worksheet. Make sure that you hand it in classroom. Okay, and then I can go through and I can assign it to my students, and that takes care of that. So that is the basic process for doing that. Let's look at one more example that might be helpful for some high school students. Some other worksheets that you might find, like might ask them to underline prepositional phrases. And we did some underlining with worksheets that we scanned in as a PDF, but they had to use their scribble tool in Google Slides. And sometimes for the younger kids, that was a little hard. So this might be another option for them. The only bad thing about this is that in Google Docs, they are going to be able to manipulate the words, so they could delete some things, they could move things around. So you just kind of have to weigh your options and see which one works best for you. Another option might be correcting a paragraph that you upload, and they will correct the mistakes in it. So it's good for grammar, some language arts. And for high school students, they might also do something that has to do with history. For example, I have uploaded into my drive a PDF of I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr. And we'll go find it. And I've already renamed it. If I hadn't, I would rename it there. Again, I'm going to right click and open it with Google Docs. And when I opened this up, it was actually just the text of the speech here that was in a PDF. And I want to actually use this for an assignment. So I went through and I added it, a name here where they can type in their name. And then I added instructions, and I said below is I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr. Highlight in yellow a passage that you believe is important to his overall message. Below the speech, answer the following questions about the passage you selected. So the students can go through, pick out a passage, highlight it in yellow, and then at the bottom, they're going to type and answer these 3 questions. How is the passage relevant today, or is it no longer relevant? Does King use any examples of literary devices in the passage that you chose? And 3, describe what you believe Dr. King meant by the message. So just some things that I made up there, but it's an example of how maybe a high school teacher could use this process. So it's easy to find something on the internet, any kind of a speech, the Constitution. You could probably find the PDF of the Constitution, give the kids a scenario, say Rosie is demonstrating by burning books in front of her school library, and ask the students to go through and highlight the articles of the Constitution that might have to do with that scenario. So just some examples of ways that you can use a PDF that you find on the internet or that you scan in and adapt it for remote learning exercise. So once I have this, I have a dream speech converted into my assignment. Again, I'm just going to share it, get the link, post it in Classroom as an assignment, just like we did with the adjective worksheet, and you are all set to go. So those are a couple examples of how you can use a PDF document to open as a Google Doc and then convert it into an assignment. Feel free to give me a holler if you have any questions about that. Have a great week.